Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have a pretty quick agenda. First, I had wanted to share some quick updates from alumni and parent engagement who work with us in advancement on the event side of things, planning things like fall weekend and reunion. They had some updates to share about the holiday parties, which you probably have heard about in email and social media. But in case you haven't, we have a number of holiday parties coming up. We have like the usual ones in Boston, New York, and Washington, D.C., as well as a few more this year in Philly, Southwest Florida, and San Francisco. The details for those are on our website. You do have to register in advance for them. They also wanted to share that in February, we're having an Admissions 101 event. It's not necessarily particular to like admissions for con, but just about college in general. So if you know people who are going through this, family members, it's a great way for people to learn about the college admissions process. And also save the date if you are a class that ends in 4 or 9. We have the dates for reunion next May 31st through June 2nd. It's a little bit earlier this year. And Shelby just sent the links for all the holiday events in the chat. Thank you, Shelby. My screen will move forward. Great. All right, so next we wanted to share some updates about where we're at in the year for fundraising. So our goal for the year is 7 million. We are at 2.3 million for the annual fund this year so far, which is about a third of the goal, and we have 1,200 donors. We are up, I think, about 30% from where we were last year, so we're doing really well so far, but we need to keep that momentum going forward into Giving Tuesday and the end of the calendar year, especially. And we just finished up last week the Camel Athletics fundraising initiative, All In to Win, where we rallied former athletes and current athletes, parents of athletes at con to raise money for Camel Athletics, which is part of the annual fund. And our goal was $100,000 and to get 600 donors. And we absolutely blew that away. In the end, including our challenge match funds, we had almost 200,000 in support and 1,200 donors, which is our biggest yet, our biggest results from this. This is the third year doing it. Shelby has led the charge this year and last year. In terms of changes from last year, we had smaller average gifts, but we had a big increase in donors. And the real why behind that was because we had increased volunteer participation. We had CGOs who were athletes who helped out. We had volunteers from the Parent and Family Council, the Alumni Board Development Committee, and a lot of involvement this year from coaches and current students in reaching out to alumni in their sport. So we're really excited. We learned a lot of new things this year. Shelby, anything else from you?
You pretty much covered it. It was great to get the coaches and the students more involved. We had about a 50% participation rate from current student athletes, which isn't 100, but was still really exciting and the most that we've seen students participate in these athletics challenges in the last 3 years. It was also really cool, especially for this group of CGOs. The 2010s and 2020s had some really high participation rates, and the 2000s as well. The majority of our Camel Athletics donors overall, since the Camel Athletics Fund was kind of created in 2019, the majority of donors have been from those 3 decades. So it's great to see that their engagement with athletics is still high, and that they're still connecting with their athletics program, and that they've participated in the challenge this year.
Yes, and all of the gifts for All Into Win and Camel Athletics in general throughout the year do count to class gift totals at the end of the year. So that's all part of it. All right. In terms of class gift officer giving, one of the things that we ask all of you to do is make a gift of any amount that you can this year. So far, we have 39 CGOs who've given, which is about a third of the way through, which is kind of on par with our fundraising too. So I just wanted to send this reminder to give as well. We have a great opportunity coming up in Giving Tuesday, which is less than 2 weeks away somehow. Shelby is going to talk about that.
Hello, me again. So this year, November 28th is Giving Tuesday. Our theme is very similar to last year. Imagine Con's future together. We are encouraging folks to give their gifts and dedicate them to someone in the community who inspired them, whether it was a faculty member, a staff member, a mentor, a roommate, anyone that made their con experience what it was. And just like last year, we're going to have a gratitude wall of the people who were given in honor of, to kind of celebrate the community that makes the Connecticut College experience as great as it is. We're going to keep it light on communications, knowing that because this is a global day of philanthropy, that Con is not the only institution that is celebrating Giving Tuesday. So we're going to keep it kind of light. We'll have a save the date kind of email on the Monday before, just to get everyone thinking about it as we come back from the holiday. And then on Tuesday, we'll do a max of 2 emails at the beginning, one at the beginning of the day and one at the end, and really leaning into personal outreach from volunteers and from students and from staff, to make those more personal connections and break through the noise of every other Giving Tuesday solicitation that people are getting that day, and hoping that they choose Con, even with a participatory gift, whether if this isn't the time of year that they would make their, larger annual fund gift, or if they would normally give in June. If we can get them to give today on Giving Tuesday, then that's one less person we have to worry about come June, and helps us all with our goals. In terms of things that we'll provide for all of you, before the holiday next week, we'll send out an outline and a toolkit that will support you all for your outreach on Giving Tuesday, with some information that you can share and social media content that you can post, or if you engage with the college accounts and the alumni accounts on social media. And we'll make sure our class lists are up to date as well before the holiday, so you know who in your class has given, especially after All Into Win with athletics, before you do outreach for Giving Tuesday. One of the things that came up in the 5 o'clock call was making sure that you all are aware of people in your classes who are either currently in a multi-year pledge, or like had one and it ended last year, or this is their last year, in case, especially for reunion classes, you want to encourage your classmates to set up a multi-year commitment at whatever level they have the capacity for. So that'll be in that round of updates if it's not already in there, so that you're aware of people who either have a current pledge for your class, or who have previously had a multi-year pledge that ended.
So what we are asking of you all, our CGOs, on Giving Tuesday is first to make your own gift if you haven't already this year. Next is to reach out to 5 of your classmates and ask them to give, and also to post on social media if you use it. You can like and repost Con's posts as well. There'll be several of those throughout the day. And as a bonus, on our giving page, as Shelby said, there'll be a section where people can, where it will be posted when people give donations in honor of others. You're welcome to scroll through, see if you know anybody. You can like comment and reply to those if you feel so inclined. Does anyone have any questions? Both about Giving Tuesday, about fundraising, about anything that's on your mind?
Okay, if no
This is
one
all
has
really
anything.
clear. Thank you. Just,
Oh.
yeah, thank you so much for all this. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Um, I just put a link in the chat. This came up in the last two CGO calls we had today. Just some curiosity about how interim President Wong has been doing, and what he's been spending his time on. So the link in the chat is a letter he sent to the faculty and staff on campus a couple weeks ago. And it's a list of 30 some goals and priorities that he has for the year, things that he's already been working on, and what he wants to accomplish while he's interim president at Con. It was really exciting to see that. Timeline for the search, Evan, I see your question in the chat. I am going to try and remember what Emily said about this earlier.
I can chime in.
Please do.
So they have narrowed the field of applicants down to, I think, about 20 candidates, and the search committee is looking to schedule interviews, I believe in February next year after the holidays. They're also, the search committee, in the process of adding some more representation to the search committee for I think students and faculty. So there are definitely things moving along in that. I don't know that they really have an accurate time frame of when they'll really have somebody. It's possible it could be next summer if things continue on schedule. But it's moving, which is exciting. Yeah, and so it was brought up earlier today in one of the other sessions that we in the beginning of the fall we sent out a CGO toolkit, and it had some basic talking points and Q&A type information about Con and what's going on campus, and people were interested in getting some updated FAQ type blurbs that they could look at before making outreach. So we'll try to put some updated language in the toolkit that we send out to you guys early next week as well. Any other questions, thoughts? If not, we can just give you guys 45 minutes back.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Appreciate your
Thank you
time,
guys
guys.
so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everyone,
Bye.
and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.